So here's a situation where one might think, well, that's close enough. You can see this board is gapping here and right there, but real nice at the other end. The problem is, if I let this go, so the solution would be just to, for me, just take off a little bit right here. And even a little bit is going to bring that in. So I could either take it off on this board or I could take it off on that board. Take off a little wedge. If I don't do that, the problem is when I put on my next row, most likely this is going to be sticking out more. Because if the next one goes tight here, now it's out there. So it kind of expands itself as you go down the roof. And you end up with kind of a curve. It's happened to me before, and so that's why I'm very aware of it. So in this case, I'm trying to be careful, and in a case like this, I'll just take some extra time, take the hatchet, and take a little bit off. Either board will work. In probably this case, I can probably take it off this one the easiest. It's kind of a straight grain, so I can hatchet a little bit off that pretty decent. So those are the little things that, just one of those little things that just adds up to more issues later. It's better to kind of take care of it right when you see it. And yeah, it takes me longer to do the boards, but I end up with a nicer job. I'm trying to get them tight. It's okay if there's gaps, but I prefer not to. So that leads me to another point. So when I started up there, I had pretty dry boards. By the time I got to here, my supply of dry boards is running real low. I was to the point where I was pretty sure these were quite dry. They're 10 inchers, and I had some 8 inchers. And then I had other ones that were not as dry. Now, ideally, I would go with a 4-inch board here, because if they shrink a little bit, you're sharing more gaps, so the gaps aren't going to be as big. When you go with a wider board and they shrink, then you have bigger gaps because you don't have as many gaps, so you have bigger gaps. So I had to ask myself, are these dry enough that they're not going to shrink much more? Because if they do, they're going to show just as bad, which isn't the end of the world. But again, I'm trying to get them tight because it looks nicer underneath. So that's what I decided to do, is use the wider ones. Now, a friend told me when they're drying, when the hemlock dries, it doesn't start shrinking until it hits 21%. That does make sense, because you're losing the water outside of the cell first, and then you start to lose the intercellular water, interstitial water next. So are these at 21%? I did not check them with my meter. I actually should do that just for kicks. And but I do think they've shrunk some already, because when I measure the width, this one's about 9 3/4, or a little over 9 3/4. Some of them are a little bit less. So, and I'm pretty sure they were 8-inch when they were sawed. So they've already shrunk some. How much will they shrink more? I'm not sure. I have never really paid attention to that very good. Although I've had really dry ones, and I remember them being close to 10 inches or whatever they were. But I think they were like a 1/4 inch less. So maybe that's what the shrinkage is, a 1/4 inch on an 8-inch board. And maybe a little bit more on a 10-inch. Okay. Got to get back to taking this off and nailing them down. And I decided I'm doing 4 nails for the 10-inch. I was doing 3 for the 8s, which seems okay, but I think for the 4s I need to do, or for the 10s I need to do 4 nails. And I'm slanting them some and pounding them deep too. That's another key thing. You don't want the aluminum touching those nail heads. It's just a reminder. I know I've talked about that before. Okay, let's get back to it.